Everyone. Welcome to SNAPSHOTS, a physical education standards implementation video series created through a partnership with the Minnesota Department of Education, MnShape, and MnDAPE. I'm Mary Thyssen-Milder, and I serve as the State Physical Education Specialist at the Minnesota Department of Education. The 2018 Minnesota Academic Standards in Physical Education were developed by physical educators from across the state. The Minnesota Department of Education facilitated that process and then formed a physical education standards leadership team made up of the co-chairs of the MDE Physical Education Standards Development Team, executive board members of the Minnesota Society of Health and Physical Education, or MnShape, leaders in adaptive physical education representing MnDAPE, and representatives of higher education. The MDE Physical Education Standards Leadership Team designed a 3-year implementation assistance plan to support Minnesota physical educators as they planned for implementation of the standards in the 2021 to 22 school year. The focus for the first year was to get to know the standards by breaking them down by individual standard and benchmark, reviewing the academic language and learning progressions within them, and then deconstructing and building bundles. In 2019, we were in the middle of the second year of professional development when the COVID-19 pandemic hit, and that put a dramatic pause on the training plan. We are now 22 months later. The COVID-19 pandemic has delayed the implementation of the 2018 academic standards of physical education until the 2023 to 24 school year. Our plan is to continue with the Year 2 Professional Development Series. However, it's clear to us that the pandemic has impacted our teaching dramatically and that refreshers in the foundational topics we covered in Year 1 may be needed. As a result, this video series was created to provide a short snapshot of them. It's the intention of each video to be a short, concise review and be available for a teacher online at any time that's convenient on either the MDE or MnShape websites. A teacher may watch them in order or go directly to a desired topic. They can be viewed individually or in teacher teams. This slide identifies the videos available. A short introduction to the series provides an overview. Then we begin with personalizing the standards, which is broken down into 3 short videos that review the importance of standards, introduces the new Minnesota physical education standards, and breaks the standards down one by one. Videos on academic language, learning progressions, and deconstructing benchmarks and bundling benchmarks are also available. This video provides an overview of learning progressions within the 2018 Minnesota Academic Standards in Physical Education. The objectives for this presentation are to define learning progressions, identify the benefits of learning progressions, and explore the learning progressions built into the 2018 Academic Standards in Physical Education. Learning progressions, also referred to as learning trajectories, describe an increasing sophistication of knowledge and skill over time. Though learning progressions could be viewed as combined within a grade or even a unit of study, in this standards discussion, we will provide examples of learning progressions from grade level to grade level. This thinking is shifting from a focus on individual modules or learning units to intentionally sequencing experiences designed to support student learning and to address core disciplinary ideas and practices that lead to career and college readiness. Understanding learning progressions provides many implications for changing and aligning curriculum, instruction, and assessment practices. Educators can explore the way aspects of a big idea are presented and integrated over time and the building blocks of knowledge and performance over time. Educators consider criteria for creating or adjusting the educational opportunities presented through the curriculum to ensure appropriate levels of rigor and performance, as well as consider and plan for scaffolds available to assist students in their development. Remember this? The first volume of Bloom's Taxonomy was published in 1956, so I know we all had it as part of our teacher preparation. Bloom's is a hierarchical order of cognitive skills, beginning with remembering or recalling facts, and ultimately leading to creating, designing, and developing. The committee paid particular attention to creating learning progressions that advanced using Bloom's terminology. Basic questions such as, can the student recall or remember the information? Can the student explain ideas or the concept? That led to more advanced questions such as, can the student use the information in a new way? Can the student distinguish between different parts? Can the student justify a stand or decision? Can the student create a new product or point of view? These questions assisted the committee as our decisions were made. However, levels of Bloom's is not synonymous with grade levels. At any new skill or teaching, as any of that takes place, it takes us right back to understanding and recalling. Bloom's is not the only way to address the depth of knowledge. Complexity of content can be simple to integrated. Kindergartners can create as long as the content is simple. Here's an example of learning progressions in physical education at the middle school level. In 6th grade, students identify the components of skill-related fitness. 7th graders define those components, and 8th graders analyze a physical activity by identifying its skill-related fitness components. The next few slides portray different learning progressions built into the physical education standards. This slide portrays the K-5 learning progressions. A great activity to identify the progressions is to look at the progressions we provided and circle verbs or concepts where you can see the progressions across grade levels. Keep in mind that these progressions represent rigor expectations that we expect students to know and be able to do as they advance from grade level to grade level. Remember, they can be visible in verbs or in concepts that increase in rigor. Here's an example of middle school learning progressions. Again, you can circle the verbs or concepts where you can see the progressions across grade levels. This slide portrays how learning progressions advance from the elementary to the middle school levels. In 5th grade, students strike with a short-handled instrument in a small-sided game. In 6th grade, this skill transfers to a forehand volley with control using a short-handled implement in a small-sided net and wall game practice task. Another example is in 5th grade, students throw overhand with accuracy in the small-sided games. And in 6th grade, students will throw, while stationary, a leading pass to a moving receiver in an invasion game practice task. This slide portrays learning progressions from middle school to high school. In 8th grade, students demonstrate a movement sequence using correct rhythm and timing as an individual or in a group. High school students demonstrate competency in one or more forms of dance, such as ballroom, ballet, cultural dances, hip hop, modern, social dances, and tap. Another example is in 8th grade students predict and modify activities which influence the target heart rate to meet desired goals and outcomes. In high school, students calculate target heart rate and apply that information to a personal fitness plan. There are many resources available to increase knowledge about learning progressions. I highly encourage you to look through the entire 2018 Physical Education Standards document and become familiar with them. I want to remind you about a resource for overall standard development in the MDE Standards portal. This portal was created by members of the MDE Academic Standards team to assist schools as they go through this complicated process of building standards-based systems. Concepts about learning progressions can be found there. This completes our walkthrough of learning progressions integrated into the 2018 Minnesota Academic Standards in Physical Education as part of the SNAPSHOTS Physical Education Standards Implementation video series. I remind you that the video series covers topics covered in the first year of standard implementation trainings sponsored by MDE, MnShape, and MnDAPE. Special thanks to the members of the MDE Physical Education Leadership Team on the development of the content and for their continued guidance in supporting quality physical education in Minnesota. For more information on professional development opportunities, stay tuned to the MDE Physical Education webpage or the MnShape website.